Hey, hey everybody, welcome to Issa Debate Podcast, a podcast where 7 friends get together and debate a specific topic. The trick is you might not be debating the topic that you necessarily agree with, but that's what makes it spicy, right? My name is Alex, and I'm going to first start and introduce everybody in the cast, starting with...
Hey y'all, it's Alanna.
Hey y'all, it's Kristy.
Hey.
Forgot Alex was hosting.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what's happening? Just go ahead, Lindsey. Just go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's Lindsey.
Paige.
It's Tena.
Hi everyone, it's Tianny.
All right. So before we jump into our debate topic today, we have a hot topic for you all. Now, like most of our topics, we pull this one straight from the streets of the shade. And we are gonna go around and we're gonna give one word that you would describe the situation that unfolded on social media between DaniLeigh and DaBaby. Now, if you are unaware, there was a whole IG Live debacle that occurred throughout the course of a day, where they were going back and forth about their situation. DaniLeigh has a baby by DaBaby, was with him, they not together, I don't know. It was a mess. But we're gonna go around and see what was one word you would give to describe that day of chaos. Lindsey?
Okay, my one word would be yo. Yo.
Alanna, what you got for us?
I'm going back and forth on which one word I want to use, but I'm gonna go with ghetto. Ghetto.
That seems like an accurate summation for sure. Paige, what you got?
Embarrassing.
Yes, I like that one. Tianny?
Traumatic.
Okay. Tena?
Triggering.
Kristy?
I'm gonna just say sad.
My word is clown, because just clown. Everyone involved, clown. I think ultimately it was just a sad situation.
Yeah. And I say yo because it's just like some people can relate to that situation. I think the thing is it was all over social media. So now you're getting other people's viewpoints that could necessarily be like kind of shaming and negative, but realistically, I feel like many people can probably speak on a situation like that. It just wasn't put on blast.
I hate that we're in an age where we have to tell the world our embarrassing, traumatic situations. There was absolutely, positively no reason any of that should have ever been on an IG Live. And throughout the day, like there were multiple videos that they did. And I mean, and it's hard to see what happened, what really was going on. You know, everybody's got their version of the story of what was really happening. But at the end of the day, it's sad because there was an infant involved. And that child is being used as a pawn throughout that entire scenario. And that's just not okay.
I think them trying to make all these videos and stuff was to prove points. And so it was like, I'm trying to prove to you that you're crazy. I'm going to show the world. I'm trying to prove to you like everything you're saying is a lie. So I'm going to show the world. But in doing that, they both just looked dumb as hell. Because if you're showing me the timeline of your relationship and multiple instances throughout this year or whatever that you're showing us pictures of, this man has told you he's not his girl, or you're not my girl. He's gotten other people pregnant. He's gone back to his first baby mama. And you're still here, ma'am?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand documenting the event so that when it does inevitably end up in court,
which it will,
which it absolutely has to at this point because cops were called, that you have not just he say, she say, you have video evidence, howsoever, you did not have to publish that video. You know, I know people who have gone through stuff like that and they have videotaped just themselves. You know what I'm saying? It is a safety measure to videotape a situation that's happening around you.
Yeah.
And some people post it to live because if you snatch my phone out my hand, you can take it. But if it's live, other people saw it. But it just seemed to me that they could have both gathered their own video evidence without posting it live.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
But again, I think, what was it, Alex, who just said, like, it's sad the fact that we feel like everything needs to be on social media. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it in-house, because one, even if that was the case where you wanted to prove a point or whatever the reasoning behind it was, all these other opinions jump into play. And so now you're hyping up the situation even more. Like, you can be upset about something, right? But then when your girls jump in or somebody jumps in and adds fuel to the fire, now you done gone from 10 to 100 because, oh yeah, and that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't think about that. And, you know, now it's even worse than what it needed to be. So at the end of the day, the main thing should have been the safety and care of that baby. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sad that she didn't have anything out. Where were they? In Charlotte?
They were in
that
Charlotte.
She could just up and leave. You know what I mean? Like, nobody, she said none of her family and stuff was out there. So she was just basically with his people. And that ain't nowhere to live. So she should have had somebody with her as well and not just laid up in his shit. Like, bye.
And I said clown because, to your point, Alanna, even for him, like, if that wasn't his girl and they wasn't together and there was some other situation, then fine. But to me, he became a clown when then you got on IG Live calling her every name but the grace of God. You know, you done call her, you know, your side chick, side bitch, this, that, and the third, unnecessarily. That wasn't necessary. You could have just been like, we not together. She don't live here. Like, and that could have been the end of it. I mean, we didn't need to know that either, but you called her, you know, every name out of her name. Again, because you don't let the internet hype you up, and now you just being a clown. Like, for what?
Y'all are in the heat of an argument, and in the heat of an argument, emotions are high, and you're saying like what's on your heart at that time, and it's gonna constantly be this never-ending like back and forth.
Trying to hurt each other.
Which is why it's like you may think like, oh, I'm gonna put this one video out so everybody sees my point of view, but then as soon as somebody gets something to say, you're like, oh no, that's not exactly what I meant. Like, let me clear that up, or I need to put another one out so you can really see. And it's just never ending. And then, like everybody said, it gets to a point where we don't need to be involved. Like, y'all need to get other people in there personally to get involved and resolve this matter in a civil manner. But
a married woman once gave me advice, and she was like, it's easy for you to forgive him. It's much harder for your family to forgive him. It's much harder for your friends to forgive him. So before you decide to let anything outside your house, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to think twice, because if, you know, let's say somebody hurts me, I might forgive that person. None of y'all ever will. You'll remember it to the day you die, and it will affect.
Still got grudges against niggas from college for y'all. So don't tell me, because I will not let things go.
Because once you told me you want me to do something about it, and I'm about that action, boss, like, let me know. We can handle it. It's not a problem.
But I feel like your friends and family also care more because they love you a little bit more,
and they know
that situation.
They want better for you.
Yeah.
But I also want people, and this isn't just male or female, like both sides. I want everybody to recognize, like, I know we already talked about red flags, but like, this man, the baby, got so many red flags. Okay, he is in every continent with the flag, because it's ridiculous. Like, she even said it, like, I should have listened. You know what I mean? I knew what I was getting into. I knew what y'all said was true, blah, 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 but I ignored it. Like, people choose to ignore these things. And then when the outcome isn't the way you fantasized it or the way that you wanted it, now it's like, woe is me. And like, I Like, even if it was me, I can't feel sorry for myself because I put myself in that predicament. I put myself in that situation. Like, stop ignoring shit that you know isn't right. Stop ignoring shit that it's like, oh, well, he's going to be different from me or what have you. Like, no, he's not. He has showed you his true colors time and time again, even before y'all got together. So accept that. And if that's what you want to be with, okay, but don't come crying and running to other people about the situation you put yourself in. Like, you knew. Yeah. It wasn't like all of a sudden he came out of the blue acting like this.
Yeah. And I don't care how much money somebody has who you're dating, as far as men or women, because there are some women out here taking care of men.
Yes.
Make sure you have your own thing so nobody can put you out. Even if it's a little one-room shack, you know you can go back, and I don't have to be on the street if I don't have no family by me. Have your own stuff. And that people got on Lonnie a little bit from, what's that show? The Talk, I think is what it's called.
It's either The Talk or The View. Yeah, one of
those. And Lonnie was saying
The Real.
Like, The Real.
The Real.
Whoops.
Ooh.
But she was saying like one of the things she pulled from it is to have your own like thing so nobody can put you out. Like that's crazy.
That's one of the things that really confuses me, because I understand not having all of your stuff with you, so wanting to wait it or wanting to like go somewhere. But if somebody started acting like that with me, I'm taking my baby and her car seat and we're going to the next hotel that I can get to the fastest. So what is that, $120? She could have waited there and a lot of this would have been avoided.
Yeah, that's actually something that like I learned like from my mother growing up. You know, if nothing else, I got a credit card. I have enough credit to buy a flight, book a hotel, get a car, whatever I need to, you know, that I can get away to a safe destination in that moment, you know, if I need to. So, you know, she could have, I'm not saying what she should have, could have did, but, you know, catch an Uber, find a Hilton, I don't know, pack your stuff up, but, you know, but also, like you say, you know, making sure, you know, when you're in situations like that and you know he is a red flag and you at this man's house in Charlotte, clearly alone, like you have no, I don't know, assistant, people, like you don't got a team there with you. I don't know how that works, but there was like nobody in the city of Charlotte that had your back. That seems crazy to me.
I think
like
too,
there was. No, go ahead.
Like sometimes you get into a state of like disbelief too. Like I know this isn't like, this is not real, right? Like, because obviously there may have been red flags in the beginning, but because he was treating her well in the moment, then it's like, oh, this is like, things are good. And then as soon as they change, like you think like maybe it's gonna be just a season, but then it's not. And then now the whole world is seeing it too. So there's like that whole emotions are rolled in with one embarrassment. And then
I just hope she learns from this.
Disbelief.
I hope she learns from it.
It's
you know.
hard.
So well, all right. Any last comments before we jump into this debate?
I was about to say I hope she learns from it, but you can think about many celebrities who have put out their business and they go back. But that ain't my business.
Well, apparently she posted a picture. She posted a picture in his clothing, like just a couple days ago. So we might already be back in the cycle.
More power to him. That's in God's hands now. Can't help that. Well, all right. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this debate. All right. So today's debate, we are talking about a subject that pops up every once in a while when we talk about dating. Y'all know it's cuffing season right now. So, you know, we in these dating streets. At least some of us are. I'm not, but some of us are. And so when you are going on dates with another person, do you go Dutch on the first date or do you not? Who's paying? Today's debater, we have Tianny on the affirmative saying that you do go Dutch on those first dates. And we have Paige on the negative saying we do not do Dutch on dates. Tianny, do you want to start us off? Tianny, what you got for us?
So, in these dating streets, what we fail to realize is that any relationship is more or less a handshake, right? And in a handshake, you can't just have one hand reaching out. It has to be equal, all right? So what the way we explain it to the children, because I'm a teacher, and we try to talk our children to how to nicely date other people, not take advantage of them. And this is one of the things we said. When you meet a person for the first time, you don't know who they are. So even when you go on a date, you need to be able to have enough money to get you there, get you home, and pay for at least your own food, right? Also, you need to know within the first 30 minutes of whether this person is a safe person, i.e., you usually have a texting buddy, or either like on the TV shows, they show up with a friend that sits behind the menu on another table and all of that. You need to at least have your location on for another friend. I say all of this to say that it is equally dangerous for both parties to go out. So why would we not go Dutch? I do understand there is a counterpoint of, in order for a man, and I'm just going to say a man, because that's what people mostly tend to lean towards. In order for a man to date, he should be able to afford the date. But I know many, many women and some of my students that will easily sit around and say, you know what, I'm bored. Let me go on Tinder and find somebody to pay for my meal, even if I just have to give up good conversation for this food. I don't think that's fair. I think a relationship, whether it started 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago, it's a handshake. And that is why it's perfectly fine to go Dutch, at least on the first date.
Well, all right. Points were made. Paige, what do you say to that?
I say this. Fantastic pointers for keeping yourself safe when you're 15. We are in our late 20s. I'm in my late 20s. You guys are in your early 30s. It doesn't matter. The point is that we are now dating to marry. Actually, maybe everybody isn't, but I'll talk about myself. I'm dating specifically to marry. So if I go out with you, I've taken the time to understand who you are a little bit. I've spoken to you and understood your intentions. So I'm not going out with you because I wanted this shrimp linguine. I'm going because I'm getting to know you to decide if you are my future husband. I want to know, are you that person that I could see going out second and third time with, right? With that said, I expect that if we are courting, you asked me out on this date. Etiquette says that if you are the asker, you are the resource provider. Okay? I'm gonna say that again for all you brokies out there. If you are the asker, you are the provider. Ooh. Now, if you wanna talk about what you can and cannot provide, that is a different discussion. Maybe we only need to get a Mr. Softy and walk. Maybe we only need to get a Slurpee and talk. I didn't ask for the surf and turf, but you brought me here, so that's what you will provide. Thank you. Thank you.
It's my turn again, correct?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Safety, you can't put an age limit on safety because there are still, you will easily get in an Uber today and almost be human trafficked. Please stop with the safety foolishness. Please, when you are dating, be safe. Also, I love your point about I took the time, or we're courting. You're using yourself. Some people are just out here living wild, loose, and free. And if that is the case, especially if you're on these apps, you don't know these people. You know exactly what they told you, which could be literally anything. It is not until you see someone in person right? That you even know what they really look like, because you know angles. People have mastered angles. And that's not even the fact that people have mastered wigs. What is that? The dudes can get the spray on haircuts, and women can paint their faces to make them look like anything. Like when I am dating, because all of that other stuff we could have did through the app, we can do through text. When I am dating, I want to be in your presence. And yes, it does cost to be in your presence, but it costs for both parties. All right. I want to be able to, know that I do feel safe for you. Okay. That we can go somewhere together and I can tolerate your personality, because you could be absolutely magnificent. And then when I meet you, that 6'4", dude turns out to be 10 times loud as you thought he was. And he can't do anything but curse like a sailor. All right. Like when we get in each other's presence, it is a test, and it's a test for both parties. I just genuinely believe it's not a problem to go Dutch on the first date.
Paige?
Okay. Honestly, the safety thing, don't do that with me, ma'am. I'm a Girl Scout for life, all right? Safety is priority. Safety is number one. Girl Scout till I die, baby, okay? So with that said, I'm gonna expose myself right now. I'm not really even gonna FaceTime you unless I've done my Googles. What does that include? I know where you work. I know probably where you went to college. And I know a little bit of background via Spokio.com. All right? I know what I need to know. And if I don't have an address or a phone number to call and say, hello, your employee is a fucking psycho, I'm not going on the date with you. I'm not going on the date with you. So I've already done that before I've agreed to go on this date. I've already FaceTimed you before I agreed to go on this date. So now let's go back to the original debate, which is, should you go Dutch or should you pay? Whoever asked, and I'm not saying that's the man, needs to pay. One person needs to pay for a date, because that's what a date is. That is what an invitation to spend time together is. That's all.
Well. We have heard from both sides. Any last minute quick comments before we wrap this up, ladies? All right, then. We're going to take it to the ladies for a vote. Now, remember, ladies, we are voting strictly on the debater's debate, not your personal opinion, so I don't need an explanation. Ms. Rutledge, what you got? Who you got?
I'm going to have to go with Paige.
That would be one for Miss Pijot. Lana Boo?
Paige.
Two for Miss Pijot. Kristina?
Honestly, I want to say both of y'all, but if I have to choose, just for the argument, Paige.
It's 3 for Pijot.
Sorry, Tianny.
Teens Beans, your opinion is always valued. I would still love to hear what you have to say.
Paige as well.
Paige with the clean sweep. This debate.
So both of y'all did your thing.
Ladies, this was okay.
All right, so I just want to say this because I don't remember who it was that was talking about it, but y'all reminded me of this girl on Instagram. I am Cleotrapa. I think I've sent y'all a video before of her. She's hilarious. She's from New York. She got all these videos. Majority of her earlier videos were like teaching people how to talk. Might as well versus might as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
that's her.
Yeah.
Okay, right? So last night I was up working, but I started watching her videos and she had a video and it was her eating dinner. She was like, when you sit there and listen to them complain about their baby mom, but all you hear for is a good meal. So dudes in the background complaining about her and she tearing her surf and turf up. And she was like, I hear you. And then she give her opinion, but that's just the video that popped in my head. I'll send it to y'all. It's really funny. But anyway, I 100% agree with Paige.
Excuse me.
Oh, we're not on that part. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're not on that part yet.
You gotta just let her go at that point because she got a video.
That video, I'm sorry. I was only supposed to tell y'all about the video, but that video was hilarious, and that's what I thought about. So go ahead.
So we are going to hear from the debaters on what your true opinion is, starting with Miss Tianny.
My opinion is if I actually go on a real deal date with you, I already know you. So yeah, you probably gonna pay.
They probably are gonna pay.
Yeah. I mean, we could go Dutch, but your odds of day two, Jesus, they've dropped to like 15% at this point. Like you're not at 0, but 15% does not look good out of 100. So,
Paige.
I would say I agree with both from different ages, because if you had caught me in college, I would have been perfectly fine going Dutch. At this age, I meant everything that I said. You need to pay.
And I'm used to talking to people who are not dating to marry. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids aren't dating to marry, they just bullshitting. So, by all means, protect yourself at all times. Have enough money.
I didn't even know 15-year-olds were on Tinder.
Oh, sweetie, they are doing much worse. They have more fun than the vast majority of us. But also, I have students I have a kid right now who has 3 kids. He has 2 and 1 on the way, and he's not even 18. He's 17. You know what I'm saying? So, like when I'm talking to my kids, I'm more or less talking to young adults. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to stop you from making more poor choices.
All right, we're gonna open it to the group now.
Sorry,
Miss Alanna, would you like to tell us? It's your turn.
I agree. Like at this point in life, but okay, what was I gonna say? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. I remember now. Okay, so I'm using heterosexual dating situations, okay, for the purpose of this conversation. So say the man takes you out on a date, right? And now you ordering up the bar. I mean, racking up on drinks, appetizers and steak and lobster and everything else. And I'm not saying y'all went to like this 5-star restaurant, you know what I mean? Like y'all are out on a casual date. However, the female is going to town on ordering up any and everything that she feels like. Do you think it should be an issue if during the date or when the bill comes, he's like, we're going Dutch? Like if he doesn't mention it until the end when it's time to pay.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if I were the guy in that situation and some girl went crazy, I would still pay. I would just never take her out again because she's tacky as hell. But I was always told you're supposed to like follow the order of the person that's paying. So this is not in dating, but this is at like business dinners. I've gone
like
out.
Etiquette. Yeah.
Etiquette, yeah. And so you always wait for the whoever to order first. And it's like, if they order something that's $25, don't order something that's $40.
Right.
But etiquette, and that's just it. Like if you think about how many people are in this world, how many people actually know any type of dining etiquette? It's a empty investment. How many guys can afford empty investment after empty investment after empty investment after empty investment? You know what I'm saying? Like to protect himself, a guy would go Dutch.
I think. So to the person that keeps buying. So the only time I've ever done that, because I have done that, but the person said, are you sure you're finished? Like, do you want more? So clearly, when you're asking me that, you're making it clear that, if you would like something else, you can order it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but that's also me reading the room and him setting his expectations. If we're just dumbly dating and we're just meeting up with each other, you want to go on a date? Okay, cool. And you're putting on a fake persona and I'm running up your check, running up the bill, then that's on you. Because clearly,
no. I'm not saying like he openly was like, go ahead. I'm saying you as the female just assume like he gonna pay.
But I feel like that's why you have to be very clear before you go on a date. Like, if you give me these false dreams over the phone, we've been talking, you telling me you balling out of control, anything you want. Then when I come to the date, now if you don't give that persona, then I'm not going to act like I'm about to buy up the whole restaurant. But I do agree with whoever said, like, anytime I go out with anybody, friends, a date, I'm going to order as if I were paying.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So I never assume someone's paying for it. And it's funny you made the comment, Paige, because actually in college, I did assume you was paying. But I was a different person back then. I've grown. I've gotten more mature. So I don't assume anyone's paying. Is it an expectation? In the back of my mind, yes. In most cases, I do expect you to pay. But if you don't, I'm kind of with Tianny. Maybe not 15%, but you probably drop down to like 25. Like, but at the same time, like Lindsey said, I order with the assumption that I'm paying for what I ordered. So it really wouldn't matter to me anyway, because I'm gonna assume in the back of my mind, I'm assuming if I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for this. To your question, Alanna, if like some girl goes out with a dude and she start running up the tab, like, is he wrong for saying we splitting the check? No, because you fouled. Like that's ridiculous. And I feel like in the sense of like etiquette, if you don't know that's not etiquette, we probably are not equally yoked and shouldn't be on this date again. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you pay for your tab.
Equally yoked.
Because this one,
I won that debate, by the way.
Season 1,
episode 1. I'm gonna go ahead and let you pay for your check because we're not gonna do this again, and that's okay. So I don't care if you're mad because this won't happen again. I did have a question for the group, kind of in reflection to something Lindsey said. So when you go on a first date, do you ask those questions? Like, do you ask or do you just kind of wait to see what happens? Because I just wait to see what happens.
I wait.
I just wait to see if you're going to reach for the check or not. Or if you're going to sit there and look at me and I look at you and we look at each other and I realize I need to go pull my debit card out. I just wondered, do you ask?
I assume that you're paying.
So when y'all looking at each other,
we not
looking at you.
I'm not looking at anybody.
I'm finishing my drink.
You looking on your phone?
Alligator arms.
Alligator arms. My
memory and recollection of dating, well, my memory and recollection of a lot of things, college and earlier, is a little hazy, and I don't know whether that was whatever. Anyway, so Dawn reminded me of a date that I went on that I told her about, where the guy forgot his wallet or something, and so I paid. And I really don't remember this, but she's like, nah, you told me this. So whatever. But I still dated him later on. And I mean, he paid. It was like a genuine, like, damn, like I really messed up. I forgot my wallet, blah, blah, blah. So in that instance, right, in today's world, if y'all went on a date and somebody was like, damn, I forgot my wallet, would you be like?
It depends.
Because
I had a similar incident happen where he didn't forget his wallet, but he had been shopping all day. So he was like, my bank card might get declined, because he was like, the bank might cut my card off.
Lindsey.
So he was like, you got me. Now, here's the thing. Had that been a first date, but I had been on multiple dates with this person, so I knew he was good for it. So I was like, nah, like if your card don't go through, I got you.
Nah, it was my first date. It was
so like that's what I'm saying. Now this was a first date. Let me just say, you really gonna have to make that up. Like we gonna have to like go to Six Flags the next time.
I have a story where
I don't know.
Was that between us, the like guy ordering 100 taco thing? Okay, so I was listening to a podcast.
Oh, on Instagram, I saw that. Some girl on TikTok.
No,
I saw
why? So the girl, she's talking with a guy online, and they're gonna go out. So he's like, he sends her address. She gets there. He's standing outside. And then it's like, okay. So he gets in and he's like, I'll tell you where to go. Like, I'll tell you where to turn. So she's still like, okay. And so she drives his directions. They pull up at a Taco Bell. And then he proceeds to order 100 tacos. And then when they get to the window, he does that whole like, forgot my wallet thing.
Hell no.
Why does she proceed to pay for 100 tacos? Mind you, that's like $100, right? She proceeds to pay for 100 tacos. And then they were like, people were commenting like, what did y'all talk about? Because I know it took them a while to make those 100 tacos. And for that 15 minutes, what did she say? Like, I don't think they were talking about anything.
They better have been talking about going feed the homeless 100 fucking tacos. Are you serious?
They get home.
That story got worse and worse and worse.
They get back to where she picked him up. They go inside, and it's like his dad or somebody?
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch watching TV. They pass him, go to the kitchen. He spreads the 100 tacos on the table, and he's like, let's eat. Yeah.
Good night. Good night.
That story would have ended in so many, like so way before we ever got to Taco Bell.
Yes.
Like,
I would have taken you back home. I would have taken you back home.
Just pick you up and take you where you want to
go. I would have taken you back home.
Going back to your question, so I don't know if it's just me turning 30, because I'm not like Paige, even though we have similar birthdays. I'm not like Paige, and I hit 30. Y'all, I forget everything. I done went to work without my laptop. I done tried to start the car without the keys. Like, I've almost locked myself out the house. So again, that's why it didn't drop to 0%. It dropped to 15%, because I've gotten goofy in my old age, and I just started forgetting everything.
There's just no excuse for forgetting your wallet at this point, because if you have your cell phone, you can Venmo me, you can PayPal me.
And I think that's the thing.
Okay,
pay,
in that instance,
it
though,
needs to
it
proceed
was
with, I'm a cash
15 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Well, not
like
15.
Current day, you have your number somewhere.
Yeah, current day.
That's what I said. Current day.
I'm gonna look at you.
Like, you got this. I'll cash
what you about to do?
Right.
And you were driving without a license, not safe. Since you want to talk about safety.
I've done that before.
Paige, yesterday I went to get donuts and didn't have my license, and I had to Apple Pay the people because I was babysitting at the time. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm in the car with a child with no license. I bought the car yesterday, so it don't have no plates and no registration. And I was like,
oh, you was really going to jail.
Just let me get back to my house, Lord Jesus. Just let me get back to my house. I'm telling you,
no license,
all
no
of that for donuts.
Listen, I'm goofy in my old age.
The main point, I think, at this age that y'all mentioned plenty of times, if you go out, make sure, even if you have to learn this from experience, just making sure you at least got it to cover yourself. Because there was another one where that happened, or she was forced to pay, and she went to the waitress and like, look, here's the money for my portion. I don't know what he was doing, something shady though, but she was like, here's the money for my portion. Don't know what he's doing, but here's my money. Here you go. And then they left. So like making sure you could take care of yourself, I think, was the common thing.
Yeah. It seems like the general consensus is that we expect you to pay. We got ourselves, but we expect you to pay.
I think if you offer, because the other thing is like, what's the verbiage when somebody asks to take you out? Because back when I was dating, it was like,
women.
You know, the verbiage was, I'm gonna take you out. Or like, I want to take you out. So if that's the verbiage,
you can't take me out and I'm paying for shit.
Taking me somewhere, you're treating, you know what I mean? If I said like, I want to take you out or whatever, then, you know I'm going to be treating. So like, what's the verbiage now? Like when somebody's taking you out, is it let's go out? Like this is a mutual thing, or I'm going to take you out?
I think it depends.
I think it's a technicality because if you're bringing it up, you want to go out.
I don't care what your verbiage is. When you ask me to go out, once again, I'm expecting for you to pay, especially if it's the first date. Like, I don't care if it's, oh, I want to take you out. If you say, what you doing after work? Meet me here. Great, I'll meet you there. I'm assuming that you're paying. Like, that's just, and if not, if I ever get caught in a situation, like, I would definitely pay for, I would probably say I probably would just grab the ticket if anybody did that. But like somebody said, that would be the last time I speak to you, especially if it's a first encounter. Now, down the line, if we become something serious, I would definitely like split. Oh, I'm gonna take you out. Like, it won't be no splitting. What you got?
I got the check this time.
What I got, you gonna have. So, but as first dating,
right.
What I will say is that intentionally, even if it wasn't really intentional, because I've been on a couple of dates where I have had to pay for my own stuff, but I can probably say I can't say any of those have ever made it to a second date.
Correct.
Even if it wasn't intentional because of that situation, there was probably, it just won't vibing regardless. And then you add on the fact that I had to pay for my own food or whatever it was, we probably didn't make it to a second date regardless. So it's usually an indication of the level of person that I'm with anyway. Like, if I'm, having to pay for whatever it is. But.
And just on a side note, ladies listening to the podcast, there are men who want to take you out. Girl, go out. I'm telling you, go out, okay?
And pay for premium liquor. They want to pay for the premium liquor. Don't give rail liquor.
Do not
now that, don't do that. Now don't do that. I will say one thing I don't play about is my liquor. So if you buying me a drink, no, I'm not getting bottom shelf bourbon. I'm ordering what I want, and you can pay for it or not. Don't ask me.
They're dating the crafty soul. They should know better.
So it's gonna be an upcharge on your receipt for my drink. It will be.
I would like to understand everybody's opinion of just going out to get that dinner, because I have friends who even now still do that. Like, you'll meet a guy, he's cool, and it's like, at least he's gonna pay for my dinner. But I cannot sacrifice 90 minutes of my personal time that I was gonna do nothing with anyways, just to sit across from somebody that I don't want to be around.
I did it in college. I definitely did it in college. I don't do it now because it's not worth my time and energy. But I definitely did it in college. But I was broke, so.
I will buy my own steak if that's what I want.
But say it was you were moving to have like a nice date, but it did just end up being dinner. And possibly lunch for tomorrow.
That's the key, Lindsey. Lunch for tomorrow.
Leftovers. That's the key.
Do you want it to go box? I sure do.
Do you know that some guys, I've been on a date where a guy was mad that I did not eat.
What do you mean? Like, y'all went to dinner?
We went, it was like a meetup, but he was like, order something, just order, get you something to eat. Like, he kept saying it. I was like, I'm not hungry. I don't want to.
Did you guys have plans for dinner?
Or it was like
sporadic, we went, it wasn't together. Fine dining. It was.
It was like a bar.
The daiquiri bar up the street. And the food is divine. Lamb chops, mac and cheese, all that. But it wasn't. It was, and then number one, it was like 12 o'clock, and because it was like a little club scene. Like if we're meeting that late, I don't want to eat that late. But I've heard from several guys that they get upset if a female does not eat on the date.
I just feel like there are more important things in the world than you worried about the fact that I didn't eat today.
Exactly.
Why does it matter?
I don't want it. You said
I feel like it's a control thing.
I don't think it's a control thing, but it's like, if I took the time to take you out to this restaurant and I don't eat out myself, it's like now I'm paying for this dinner and we could have done something else.
I feel like we should have had a better conversation beforehand. That sounds like we didn't communicate well.
I agree.
Like, cause to me that sounds more like we met up like after work or something. Like, let's go, do something after work.
Yeah.
And we go to the bar and I'm not hungry. You want to eat dinner now, but I don't eat this early or I'm not hungry, and you mad because I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry.
Like, why would
We
that
didn't
annoy
like
you?
decide
Why
to
would
go to
something like
dinner
that
date.
annoy you?
I think that's the same though when you go over somebody's house and they offer you food, and even if you didn't go over there to eat, if they offer you food, they expect you to eat it. And I think like sometimes people have hyped up in their head that they're supposed to do something for you. And when they're unable to do something, maybe they feel offended. It kind of feels like
They're like,
That makes sense.
that seems like a deeper issue that you need to discuss with a licensed professional.
Dang.
Jesus.
Because we not at grandma's house who cooked the whole meal because she know you coming over and you decline. Like, okay, yes, that is offensive. Don't decline Granny's mac and cheese. But like, if I have food here because you're coming over and I'm trying to be cute and a great hostess and you're not hungry and you don't want it, like, I can't be mad or offended that you don't want the shit that I have.
I think there are better things to be worried about.
Right.
And all in all, if a first date, but I feel like the guy has to tell me. You need to tell me that we're going Dutch. We don't need to wait till the check comes
for that to be established.
Just be open and honest. Hey, it's a meetup, so you're gonna pay. But I know guys are not doing that. They're not saying on the first date we gotta go Dutch.
My cousin,
because they want you to go on the date.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I was basing most of my arguments off of some arguments our cousin said last season.
He absolutely does. He tells you that.
Oh, he did say that on the season on that last episode.
But if you date him,
but he tells you that
already. Know
Yeah,
that
I appreciate you telling me up front.
Yeah, he's gonna tell you up front.
But don't
tell me that.
Yeah.
The check comes and you're like, oh.
And then let me decide if I want to put up with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if the check, like I said, I will pay for mine. But if the check come and I'm looking at me and you looking at me and we looking at the check and I realize I gotta put my debit card out, I'm looking at you funny. Like,
oh, we gonna keep looking at each other. Ain't nothing coming out.
Lindsey gonna be in a staring
competition up in this thing.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna pay for my food and leave.
Yes.
Well, this was nice.
Actually, I'm gonna pay for both of our foods so that you have money for the next day. At least look decent in front of your next first date.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I will, because that's when I'm gonna be petty and have them split the check.
Though I like being courted.
This one, no, I'm not paying for the whole thing. Absolutely.
Would you say that going Dutch takes some of the heaviness out of the date? Then you're not worried about that at the end. You're free to just kind of like talk your talk, all this kind of stuff.
No.
How did the money make it heavy?
I do think that if somebody invites me somewhere and they're like, we're gonna go Dutch, I'll probably go into that already having friend zoned you, kind of, or like looking at you like you're my friend. Is that the heaviness you're talking about?
Or maybe like the nervousness?
Is heaviness romance?
Anticipation of what's gonna happen at the end.
Yeah, but like, are you free to talk about other stuff now? But no, it's okay.
Right, and you're not like concerned about, should I order this? Oh, should I order that?
Oh, I see what you're
where
saying.
are y'all going on first dates? Like, are you going to Benihana? I don't understand. How much is this first date?
Applebee's with a lace front.
We going to the
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory.
I mean, are we going to the Chop House? Like, where are we going on this first date that is just all of this? I don't know.
That has been a first date.
Fleming's.
That's been a first date.
If you invite me
to
the Chop House on the first date, you're obviously intending to pay.
You're obviously intending to pay.
You didn't invite me to Chop House
because I did not budget for that this month.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if you do have the audacity to ask me to go Dutch, then we are having a staring contest.
That's the audacity.
We gonna sit here and look at each other all night long. I know you invite me to the Chop House and thought I was paying.
Oh, I do have a.
Don't do that.
I mean, I have a question. Is there a law or rule that says if you go on a date with somebody in a restaurant, like say if you were, I was wondering the story somebody was saying, like if I'm on a date and I only pay for mine and give it to the lady, and the person has already said they don't have any money, like, what is the consequence? Like, what?
Unmute.
Being that we came together.
Unmute, Tianny.
Tianny, that's you, girl.
That sounds like a PP. That's a personal problem at this point because I had taken care of myself. And if your mother didn't raise you to do anything, she raised you to take care of. You guessed it yourself. So I'm going to say
that's why she said. That's why she said, "Here's for me." I don't know what Bull like. He's
but like, how does
this is for me. I'm taking care of. It's no longer. It's no
I'm
longer
not sticking around to find out though. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. Your time. It was great. It was nice. Whether it was great or nice, I don't care. I'm saying this so I can get away safely. Listen, this was so amazing. You can be blessed though.
But this is somebody, like, I don't remember what he was talking about. It was something like, it was about to turn into like a bad situation type thing. So this is like, all right, I'm going to excuse myself. She went up to the waiter, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I forgot my wallet. And then she goes and like pays for herself and leave. But yeah, because at that point.
As a former waitress, if it's two people at a table, she come pay for her food and leave, I'm gonna assume he needs to call a friend. I don't know what you need to do, sir.
On a friend.
You need to call a friend.
You need to wash dishes. Is what you need to do.
You need to call your mother. Ain't no washing dishes. That's some stuff we saw on TV. Ain't no washing dishes. You need to call somebody and figure out what you're gonna do about this check because the bill is due, and I don't have nothing to do with her. She left. So what you gonna do?
Okay. I was wondering how people.
Ain't no washing dishes. That is a myth. We don't put people to wash dishes. Because what does that do for me? We still got to pay the dishwasher. Just because you wash dishes, we still got to pay him. Like, no. You need to call a friend and figure it out. I don't know.
I would love
Somebody
to
bring you some money.
I would love to hear a guy's opinion. So guys, once we post this, make sure you comment below.
Please do.
All right. Any final comments, ladies, before we wrap this up? Well, this was a very fun discussion. Like Lindsey said, please let us know in the comments, in the DMs, what you think. Do you go Dutch on a first date? And we would love to hear what the fellas have to say. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the podcast. We are available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So make sure you check us out. It's always more fun to watch us on YouTube. So I always suggest that one. But if you can't, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And then follow us on Instagram at It's a Debate Podcast on Instagram. And thanks for hanging with us. We will see you guys next time.